All right, this is a book recommendation for the Christmas season. This is Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. This translation is done by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is I believe it's a 14th century poem. Anywho, so Gawain, or Gawain, however you want to say it. People say it both ways. I'll probably flip back and forth, which can be annoying to people. But Gawain is Arthur's cousin. Arthur is the son of Uther Pendragon and Queen Igraine. And Igraine's sister is Morgause. Queen Morgause of Orkney is married to King Lot. And Gawain is her son. So the story begins on Christmas Day in Camelot, where everybody's having a great banquet feast, and in rides a Green Knight. He's really strange looking. He's very tall, imposing figure. He kind of looks like like the Green Man, like he's forest. He's just very intimidating. He issues a challenge for the beheading game, where he has a giant axe and he's like, "Hey, anybody take a swing at me with this and cut off my head, we'll go blow for blow. You get to take a shot at me, and then I get to take a shot at you." So Gawain steps up to the challenge, and he beheads the Green Knight. But shocker, the Green Knight doesn't die. And so the Green Knight issues a challenge that 1 year from now, on Christmas Day, Sir Gawain is to meet him at the Green Chapel, where this knight will he gets his chance to return the strike or the blow. And so some time passes, and Sir Gawain goes out on his quest to find the Green Chapel, and he comes across a castle where lives a lord and his lady. And then there's an issue of challenges, or temptations rather. So this lord of this castle goes out on a hunt, and while he's hunting, Gawain is at the castle, where he is enticed by the lady of the castle. And there's this repetition of there's 3 hunts and then 3 what you would call temptations. And then the setup of this thing is that they're to exchange today's winnings with one another. So the Lord goes out and he hunts a deer, or a hart, right? And then he hunts a boar, and then he hunts a fox. Those are the 3 animals. And then he is to exchange whatever he catches for the day with Gawain, which happens to be the advances of the lady of the castle, who's trying to commit infidelity with Gawain. So Gawain is trying to maintain his purity, right, by not giving in to the temptation. It's a very simple story, but it's Arthurian literature, and there is, I just find it interesting. I like this one. I have read the other translation that's widely available. Now, if you don't want to buy the book, okay, if you're not interested, if you just want to hear the story, you can listen to the LibriVox recording. This is in the public domain. The Tolkien translation is not public domain, but the story itself is in the public domain. However, I do prefer this translation. I like the way that this one reads, because Tolkien was a linguist and did a really good job. Now, the poem itself is not that long. It's only 108 pages. Yeah, so there it is. That's it. The rest of this book includes a lecture on Sir Gawain himself, and then there are 2 poems in the back, Pearl and what's the name of the other one? Sir Ortheo? Orfeo, yeah, Sir Orfeo. And that's really all there is to it. So there you go. I really don't have a whole lot to say about this other than it's epic poetry, right? You can kind of compare it to, say, something like Beowulf. Although there is an interesting... The beginning of this book is interesting because it ties Arthur's Britain back to the city of Troy. Okay, so the battle between... it ties it back to the Trojan War. So here's a little bit. I'll read the first line here, or the first little bit. It says, "When the siege and the assault had ceased at Troy, and the fortress fell in flame to firebrands and ashes, the traitor who the contrivance of treason there fashioned was tried for his treachery, the most true upon earth. It was Aeneas the noble, and his renowned kindred, who then laid under them lands, and lords became of, well nigh all the wealth in western isles. When royal Romulus to Rome his road had taken, in great pomp and pride he peopled it first, and named it with his own name, that yet now it bears. Tyreus went to Tuscany, and towns founded, Langbard and Lombardy uplifted halls, and far over the French flood Felix Brutus on many a broad bank, and Bray, Britain, established full fair, where strange things, strife and sadness, at whiles in the land did fare, and each other grief and gladness all fast have followed there." So he's got Britain being founded by Brutus from the Trojan War. When you get down to the third verse, we'll skip the second one. It says, this king, so it's talking about Arthur, "This king lay at Camelot at Christmas tide, with many a lovely lord, lieges most noble, indeed of the table round all those tried brethren, amid merriment unmatched and mirth without care. They tourneyed many a time, the trusty knights, and jousted full joyously these gentle lords. Then to the court they came at carols to play, for there the feast was unfailing full 15 days, with all meats and all mirth that men could devise, such gladness and gaiety as was glorious to hear. Din of voices by day, and dancing by night, all happiness at the highest in halls and in bowers. Had the lords and ladies such as they loved most dearly, with all the bliss of this world they abode together, the knights most renowned after the name of Christ." And I could read on, but you get a kind of a flavor for how this reads. So it's it's epic poetry. So yeah, that's it. So here, put this on your Christmas reading list. It's interesting. It can be a little bit difficult to work through if you're not familiar. I mean, it is kind of, you have to like really pay attention when you read to pick up what's going on. But I really like this particular translation of the story. All right, thanks for watching. God bless and have a wonderful day.